Oh, so there. Yeah, cool. Why do you streaming and starting in a couple of minutes? So this is me. If anybody wants to see me looking rough, just checking all my other stuff, making sure frame rates and everything are all good. Cool. So we're good to go. So this is my channel. I don't really have anything at this time to say about myself. I'm just a full stack web developer. Junior. I try to learn every day, try to learn some new things. Um, that's basically what I do, and I share my learning in public because I'm a sadist, I believe is the expression for somebody who likes to hurt themselves. So today we're going to cover, well, not today, this is the second or third time today. We're going to cover SideQuest now. We've been talking about Redwoodjs now for, I think it was just before Christmas I did one. And all I'm doing is going through their tutorial and learning as I go. Anybody who is interested in that should join me. Anybody who finds that boring should go. So I hope somebody finds it interesting. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about SideQuest. So SideQuest is this is just a section that just basically goes a little bit on the side about the structure of how Redwood works. Because technically we've been, well, not technically, we've been abstracted away a lot of things, as you can see. So it's quite difficult to, if you're new, to fully understand, like, how is this, like, what's web and what's API and what's really happening here. And so I think that's what the purpose of this section is to really talk about what's happening underneath the sheets. With regards to how the structure is. And if you look at the docs, you'll see on the top left side here where it says browser. I'll just move it to the middle of the screen a little bit. There we go. It says, it shows a nice little diagram. It says browser. So that's our posts cell that we created at the end here. Yeah. We created cells just before. That's our data fetching, I think is what they call it. Let's take a look. Source, function, services. We built so much stuff, and I didn't have a chance to look at it. So yeah, so it's under web, and that is our query. So it's a data query. So the browser on the left side, that cell post cell. It's a data query, that's right. And then we make that request, it goes over the internet, and then it hits our back end, which could be a Lambda. There are ways to configure it without Lambda, or at least, I mean, technically you can always change anybody's code, but I know long term the idea is to make it more flexible than just Lambda. From what I understand, one of the co-founders of Redwoodjs is a former co-founder or investor of Netlify. Netlify uses AWS's Lambda service in the back end. So it makes sense that you're going to build out a product. The first thing you're going to reach for is the services you understand best. So that's how we ended up there. But the impression I got from them is that it won't stay just there. And that makes sense. So yeah, we got our Lambda function for now, or our server-side function, serverless function. And then that some function is then making a request, a secure request to the database. So we talk a little bit about the SDL here. So the SDL right here, files and API source. GraphQL define the GraphQL object query and mutation types. So let me just pull that view up again. So it's talking about right here, GraphQL, and it's referring to this. See, so it was talking about mutation, object and query. So there's our object type post, okay, query, yeah, and our mutation. Okay, normally you would write a resolver map that contains all your resolvers and tells Apollo how to map them to your SDL. Putting business logic directly in the resolver map will result in a very big file, no horrible reusability. Totally makes sense. So you'd be well advised to extract all the logic out into a library of functions, import them, and call them from the resolver map. Remembering to pass all the arguments through. That's a lot of effort and boilerplate and still doesn't result in a very good usability. Redwood has a better way. Remember the API source services. Okay, source services. Okay. Directory. Redwood will automatically import and map resolvers from the corresponding services. Oh, nice. File onto the SDL. At the same time, it allows you to write those resolvers in a way that makes them easy to call as regular functions from other resolvers or sources. It's a lot of awesomeness to contemplate, so let's show an example. Consider the following SDL JavaScript file. Okay, let's go back to the one that we had. Okay, I'm reading this right here, right off the top. So I'm moving the code so it relates. If anybody's looking for it is in the tweet that I put out. It's just like this. Oops, that is because I have something else blocking it. There we go. Let me just comment that out so it doesn't nuke. So that's where I'm reading right now. In this example, Redwood will look in API source services posts JS for the following 5 resolvers: posts, post ID, create post, update post, delete post. Okay. Okay. To implement these, simply export them from the services file. They will usually get your data from a database, but they can do anything you want as long as they return the proper types that Apollo expects based on what you do. Okay. Looks pretty straightforward. This is important right here. Apollo assumes these functions return promises, which DB, an instance of Prisma client, does. Okay. Definitely important to know. Apollo waits for them to resolve before responding with your query results, so you don't need to worry about a single wait or mess with callbacks yourself. Wow, that's a lot of abstraction, I'm not gonna lie. Why we call these implementation file services? Well, this example block doesn't get complex enough to show it off. Services are intended to be an abstraction above single database tables. For example, a more complex app may have a billing service that uses both a transactions table and a subscriptions table. Some functionality of this service may be exposed by GraphQL, but only as much as you like. You have to make each function in your service available via GraphQL. But you could still use it yourself. And a custom function. Putting your app into one of the plan services and providing comparable services, both for internal use and you will naturally start to separation. Likely increase the all makes sense to me. Back to our data. Lower ball has called resolver, which in our case retrieve digs into the object and returns all the key values that were asked for the GraphQL query. Yeah. Then packages up the response. Wow, I've just done a lot of reading. So if you're using a Redwood cell, then this data will be available to you in your success component. Okay. Let's keep going then. So now that we have our homepage listing all the posts, let's build. So that's let's go back to that. Keep everybody focused. There we go. So that's this on the left. So I go to the test, I go to about, nothing, I go to homepage, and there's my, there it is. Okay, I wonder if I can make that a little bit. There we go. I hope everybody's okay with that. I'll close up the terminal just to scooch it out a bit. There we go. So I'm going to go back to the docs for a second. Let's see. There. So now that we have our home page and listing all the posts, let's build the detail page, the single post page. Canonical URL that displays this. By the way, if there's a different way to say this, canonical. I've often one. Okay. So looks like I had lost the connection there for a moment. Okay, so welcome back. It's not set up yet though. I'm still. Okay, so let's go back to our browser. Now that we have those terminals, I don't know. Maybe you want to see this first. So created source pages. Let me just get it up for us. Close this one. Source. So we got blog post cell, and then under here we have our blog post page. This is the page that defines our structure. Look at that. And we got a story and a test and everything all built. So apparently you can't call it page because that was already created. Post, sorry, you can't call it post because it already has a component named post and it won't double up. So basically you gotta go post page or post page. No, you gotta go blog post page. Okay. Let's go here to the docs. And grab the code. So I'm gonna go back to code. Let me not switch back with my code for a bit. Just one. It says blog posts cell. Yes. We're supposed to look at this. Title of the post on. Now let's link the title of the post on the home page to the detail page and include import for link and routes. Okay. Maybe I'm gonna just do this next to it. I just want everybody to see where the changes are. I don't know about you, but I always sometimes find it a little challenging to see what's different. So we got our post. Okay, so that's the same. Return this post. We got PID. So the link will be routes blog post. Okay, so that'll be post title. It's an H2. Okay, as it is. Okay, so that's the only difference from our kernel. Okay, I'll delete that. Delete all this old stuff too, because we really well and properly moved on from. Okay, so we got this blog post. Okay, so if we go to routes, we should see. Where is it? Blog post. Name blog post. Remember, like new post or the originals were home. So if we go to the home page, and I click there, you go. There, yeah. See, this is commented out because we were making changes, but blog layout. It's containing it. Yeah, see home, about, home, test. Just for people's. Okay, so yeah, so the home is whatever the name is, and then you call it. I just wanted to show you else so that you can see that. We're gonna go back to close some of these down. Can't screw stuff up if you can't edit it. There we go. Okay, blog post page, which we just created. What else did we do? We also created the success section for this. If you click on the link, okay, go back to the docs. Click on the link in the title of the blog post. You should see the boilerplate text box. Okay, let's try that. There we go. Okay. Well, that's because that code is already there. Under routes, which we were just looking at. Blog post. There we go. Interesting. Okay. Notice the ID Redwoodjs calls these row parameters. I did not notice the ID. Is it? Oh, yeah, there. Let's tell us to expect another part of the URL, and it does. Compartment later. Okay, so currently our route doesn't have. Okay, so I'm going to show you this one. See, look at this. So what it has is they put in an ID here. It's dynamic data, if you recall from before. So now if I was to comment this out, go back to my refresh, and then click on it. And now, if I go here, I'll see some scrambled eggs, but I'll still see some. Okay, let's go. Interesting. That is interesting. Why is it showing it like that? Okay, let's see. So let's just keep rolling with this. So now I'm going over to the docs, and you see this here. But just so you notice, if you looked in the browser, you would the word that I was displaying, you didn't see the one. So I did something wrong. But we'll roll back to that. There's no rush. So I'm going to make this change here. Okay, click there, because that's, go back to our code. And let's says link and then it crashes. It's not defined. Now we need to that has it. Okay. So I'm gonna take this out of here. And I'm gonna go to blogs cell, which is up here, this one. And then I want to take this link, right? It's this link. Post title. Let me put those side by side. Okay, so if I was to hover over this, I see this scrambled egg in my status. And then when I do this one, I see a proper number. See, there it is in the URL. Shoot, I wish you could see it. Let me see if I can hack this a little bit real quick. There it is. Let me just check something. I hope I didn't screw up my setup. No, I didn't. Cool. Okay, so you can see it. There. You see that? There it is. 4. That's important. And if I hover, you can see it in the bottom too, and then that's 5. And if I look here, you'll see 5. Okay. So I like that. This is good. But let's take a moment to look at that. So the scrambled egg that we saw on post 1, that was this one. Okay. There's another way to just do this if we wanted to. Should be able to go up here and this and go. And I think I got a space there, do I? No. Okay. Weird. Okay. So now this won't comment out because it's basically an HTML. There. Okay, so now we'll go back to our console. And this is showing you here the data. So this is the reason why. I'm gonna have to make it a little bit bigger. There. Can you see that? Okay, I'm gonna have to modify my. There it is. So if you look at this last line, it says blog self line 22, that's right here. Okay, and this first part is the string. That's why I always do that. And then the second part is what gets delivered. So that's actually what's happening there. So when you do the link to so there's actually, you can pass in the prop there. So if I want to go like this, it will accept an object. bugger. I didn't want to. I wanted to just do it here so I could see it. This is how I explore stuff. I'm literally like just trying to. There it is. So if you do ID, so let's see here. Go back to routes, name ID, and just call this Bob. Then go back to your cell, right? And if you say Bob, like that, and it'll print out that one. See, there we go. So there's no like pre-structured version of it. You do it just because you need to do it. So if you were to do this and you say Bob, then this one would also work. Yeah, so this would work. Okay, it's not working, but you see the Bob in there. It's passing the whole object. I'm going to go to the second one, and it works. AC4. So, and this works even though it says Bob, because if you go back to routes, you named it Bob right here. So it's some people that was super obvious for. I don't know. For me, it took me a long time to sort of see some of these connections. So this is good. This is how this works. So that's why I showed them this one. We don't like this one anymore. Nuke it. Now we're good. Okay, so I'm going to just scooch that over again. I just noticed something. That terminal that I had here was not working anymore, so I'm going to minimize that. So weird. So weird. Okay. We'll go back to it. Localhost. It's good. Okay. Good. I'm going to make this a little bigger again. So we maximize space. Okay. Now we're back on the track. Back on track. Let's see how much time. Brains in the studio running 36. Doing good. I gotta go. So, okay, get this one. I want to finish the row params. We're not even close. Okay, so using the params. Okay, so the idea is in the URL, what do we need next in order to display a specific post? It sounds like we do data retrieval from the data, which means we want to sell, right? Okay, so now we're, oh, I didn't show the docs. So that's where I just grabbed, that's where I just read, right above that, and I'm going to go here. Let's go to, at least that terminal still works. Okay, now remember it's yarn redwood global, no, generator. Generator, generate cell is the command, and generate cell for the blog post. I was thinking that sometimes you will want to generate a cell with a more neutral name, because that cell could be, it may be used quite often for too many other purposes. Cool. So we're done. So there we go. We got blog post cell. Here, check it out. Okay. So there we go. We just created those. This one. You're getting the picture now, right? Creates all those. Any step of the way, you can always run tests, right? But now we're going to go back to our docs. We're going to take a look here, and then we'll use that cell in blog post page. And we'll use this cell in blog post page. And let's surround the page with blog layout. Okay. Okay, so blog post page, code, blog post page. Down here. This one. Yep. This is the one. So yeah, we're not using the blog layout, which we need, right? Because if we look at other pages, for example, this one, use blog layout. So let's grab that. Are we using mouse? No. So technically, get rid of this. I guess I could say it was a good idea that I came. Blog post page. Could do layout. Okay, let's go here. What do we use? We got the about and then some stuff. So I'm gonna put it here. Oops. Okay. Blog layout. I got the blog. Okay. And then I gotta get the cell. Yeah, because I'm gonna use the logic here. And then just go blog post cell. And then I can put this in. Okay. So do I have anything I wanted to pass down? There. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pass in the string 5 potent. Response not successful. Okay. Let me take blog post page. Yeah, and blog post cells essentially returning. Okay. Access the ID, right? We need to access the ID. How do they want me to? This is the part, one of the parts that I find confusing. Definitely. I find this confusing, and I highly recommend you reading more on it. This section right there. This is all very new to me. Yeah. To each their own, I guess, but I thought it was a bit of a challenge. Challenging. I find it challenging. Okay, so there I got the loading, empty, error message, string post. Oh, I gotta change. Blog post to post. Right. Getting closer still. Where will that ID come from? Would have another trick up its sleeve. Whenever you put a root parameter route, that parameter is automatically made to the page that renders, which means we can update blog post page. All right. Okay, I definitely have to go. Let's finish this though. I'm gonna look at the box. It's saying right down here we need to pass the ID in to the component. And then we gotta take it. Okay. Go back to code view. Drop that in, and then drop this in. Okay, we're golden. Not successful. Response not successful. Okay, exists since we named our route param ID. I'll have to check why this is broken. Okay, yeah, it's failing at the highest level. Receipt of foreign call. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at this. That's okay though. It's good for today. Okay. Click it open so that other people can see. Interesting. Okay. We'll see you all later. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.